totally into this basketball thing now? I mean,
It's crazy, but I'm loving it. Yeah, just getting used to it.
can you talk about the process of just being where you're at right now?
I think it would just, I didn't expect it. I came back thinking just straight football, and then, my body kind of developed differently. I got taller and could have still done football, but thought that I was a little bit better cut out for basketball. So
How tall are you right now?
I'm about 6'10".
When you started to get like 6'8", 6'9", did you start thinking, maybe this football thing's not going to work?
The thought was always there, but it was like, we'll stick to football because I've heard of like 6'8", 6'9" football players. But then when you hit 6'10", it's like, you don't hear that many people, Too Tall Jones wasn't that tall.
So when you came off your mission, did you go through a practice session with the football team?
Oh, yeah. I started workouts immediately. I started going through workouts. I did about 3 or 4 weeks of just straight football workouts. And they were great. I was loving it. But then I had the opportunity to try a little bit basketball, and that started to become great too.
And you played 4 years of basketball in high school.
Yeah.
So kind of like Bronson, just both sports all the time.
Yeah, just both sports.
And you just started to like basketball more than football? Is that
I love them both. Mm-hmm. And I think just whatever was in season is what I liked at the time. And then coming back, I still love football. Even now, I still love football. But just the opportunity to play basketball was there. And it's a big opportunity, and I thought I would take that.
When did you finally make the decision to go to basketball, and what preempted it?
I think it just, after playing in the summer with the guys and seeing what the, availability was of playing time and being able to help the team, it was just, kind of became obvious. I talked with my dad, and I talked with other football coaches and stuff, and they were great about it, and I just realized, I could actually make this happen.
Coach had some high praise for you. He compared you to one of the most legendary NBA players ever. As far as just raw ability, obviously. But
exactly.
What would you describe yourself as a player?
I'm a little bit behind skill-wise and whatnot, but I think if I just like everything else, you put your mind to it, put enough effort in it, you can get to where you want to be.
You know what that player was? Who that was he was talking about?
I've heard him mention the name, but I don't know if I want to
Go ahead.
He played with him.
He said Hakeem Olajuwon?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I got to start reading up more on him, I love him, so when he said the name, I was thrilled, but, it takes a lot more work to get where he was. So.
No pressure, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, so we're going to see what happens.
You may have already answered this already. I apologize if you have, but he was relaying the fact that in your conversations that you had mentioned, like the highlight of your day was when you got to come here and play pickup ball.
Yeah.
What is it that was so enticing and so exciting to you about playing basketball?
It's funny because my dad always talked about how basketball was his first love, and basketball was we were always football, but basketball was just kind of our free time, when we want to go have fun, let's go play basketball in the backyard or something. And then to actually come here, and now instead of it just being that thing I do for fun on the side, that it can actually be the thing I do all the time, that was really nice to transition.
So, as you're on your mission,
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of hard to say. Did you feel yourself growing? Were you like amazed at just the growth process?
I had no idea, especially being in Korea where everyone's a little bit shorter anyways, you can't really compare too much. You're just tall everywhere you go, and so I had no idea. The only thing I was growing was facial hair, and that's about it.
So when you came back and you measured, what are you, 6'10"?
Yeah,
now?
about 6'10".
What was your reaction, or what were the reactions for those around you?
I just was kind of shocked, like, really? I didn't think I grew, but I guess something happened while I was out there, and everyone around me just started first thing was, oh, you look taller, and I was like, well, it's just you haven't seen me in 2 years, so maybe that's what it is, but I guess they were right.
So what were you when you went on your mission?
I was about 6'8".
6'8"?
Yeah, about 6'8", maybe a little less, but...
And the prospect of coming onto the football field, I mean, what did you see? I mean, you knew you had to gain weight,
mm-hmm.
and what was that a little bit daunting to think about putting on all that weight, or did you just realize, man, I'm just too tall to play?
I think, it is always a little bit daunting to think about the things you have to, do to get in shape for any sport, but I was definitely ready to do it, My target weight was like 320 or something, by the end of playing offensive tackle, and I was willing to do what it takes to get there. But then basketball was like, oh, well, you don't really have to gain any weight or lose any weight, so that was a little bit nicer, but nothing too discerning.
Was it a difficult decision to walk away from?